Let's get straight to the point. Number 9. Retrouvailles. Have you ever reunited with someone after a long time apart, and within 5 minutes it was like no time had passed at all? The rhythm of you came back immediately. The jokes landed the same way. The silences felt the same. The version of yourself that only exists around them showed up without being asked. That specific feeling of picking up exactly where you left off with someone time couldn't touch, that's retrouvailles, a French word meaning the joy of reunion after a long separation. Psychologists call this relationship schema activation, when the neural pathways built around a specific person reactivate instantly upon reunion, regardless of how much time passed. In plain language, some people are so deeply written into you that absence doesn't erase them, it just pauses them. And the moment they're back, you remember exactly why they were irreplaceable. Number 8. Longing burn. Have you ever wanted, just for a moment, to go back? Not to fix anything, not to change the ending, just to be there again. In that specific moment, with that specific person, on that specific ordinary day that you didn't know would become the last ordinary day. The last time you talked the way you used to talk. The last time things were simple. The last time you were both exactly who you were then. That ache of wanting to return to a moment with someone that no longer exists, that's longing burn. The specific pain of missing not just a person, but a version of life that contained them. Psychologists call this temporal counterfactual thinking, the mind's tendency to replay moments and imagine them differently. But longing burn isn't about changing anything. It's not, I wish I'd said this. It's simpler and sadder than that. It's, I just want 5 more minutes in that moment, just to feel it again, just to know I was there. Number 7. Heart shadow. This one is the one nobody talks about, the one that comes with guilt. You miss them, and you know that missing them doesn't make sense. They weren't good for you. They hurt you. They left, or you left, for good reason. And yet, late at night or in quiet moments, you miss them anyway. Not the reality of them. Maybe just the idea. The version that existed in the good moments. The potential of what it could have been. That confusing, painful feeling of missing someone who wasn't even good for you, that's heart shadow. And before you judge yourself for feeling it, psychologists who study attachment and loss say this is one of the most universally experienced and least discussed forms of grief. Because we don't grieve only good things. We grieve what we wished things could have been. We grieve potential. We grieve the version of them we believed in even when the evidence said otherwise. You're not weak for missing them. You're human for having hoped. Number 6. Echoheart. There are people who live in your mind rent-free. Not because you invited them, not because you want them there. Just, years later, they're still there. A thought surfaces out of nowhere. You wonder where they are, what they're doing, whether they ever think about you the way you still occasionally think about them. Not obsession, not longing exactly, just an echo, a presence that never fully left even after the person did. That's Echoheart, the phenomenon of certain people leaving an imprint so deep that they continue to exist in your thoughts long after they've left your life. Neuroscientists who study memory found that relationships with high emotional intensity, whether positive or painful, create stronger and more durable neural pathways than ordinary experiences. In other words, the people who moved you most are the hardest to unremember, not because you're weak, because they mattered. And the mind doesn't forget what mattered. Number 5. Kenopsia. This one is quiet, but once you feel it everywhere. A chair that used to be theirs, a side of the bed that used to be occupied, a seat at a table that used to have someone in it, familiar spaces, made strange by a specific absence. Not just empty, wrong, like the room itself remembers them and doesn't know what to do with the gap. That eerie specific feeling of a space that used to hold someone and now just holds the shape of where they were, that's kenopsia. The forlorn atmosphere of a place that's missing the person who gave it meaning. Psychologists who study grief describe this as environmental memory activation, when spaces become emotional anchors for the people who used to inhabit them. The room didn't change, you did. And now every unchanged thing in it is a reminder of what isn't there anymore. Number 4. Soft goodbye. This one lives in the unfinished. There are people you never got to end things with properly. Not a dramatic falling out, not a clear ending, just things got quiet, then quieter. Then one day you realized it had been 6 months, and then a year, And now it's been so long that reaching out feels stranger than staying silent. And you never said what you needed to say, and neither did they. And somewhere in the space between what was said and what wasn't, something is still waiting. That specific incompleteness of a relationship that ended without ending, that soft goodbye, the goodbye that was never actually said. Psychologists call this ambiguous loss, grief without a clear ending point, mourning without a moment to mourn from. It's one of the hardest forms of missing someone, because there's no closure to close around, just an open door that neither of you ever officially shut, and you still sometimes walk past it and look in. Number 3. Anamnesis. This one is strange. Have you ever met someone and felt, I know you? Not from somewhere specific, not from a memory you can place, just an inexplicable sense of recognition, like your soul had met their soul somewhere before your bodies did. Their mannerisms feel familiar. Their humor lands before you understand it. Something about the way they exist in a room feels like something you've been missing without knowing what you were missing. That feeling of recognizing someone you've never actually met, that's anamnesis. From the Greek, meaning the recollection of things from a past beyond this life. Whether you believe in that or not, the feeling is real. Some people arrive already feeling like memory, and losing them feels less like losing someone new, and more like losing someone you'd already lost once before. Number 2. Farcall. Have you ever met someone and felt immediately, oh, there you are? Not romantically necessarily, not even logically, just something in you recognized something in them before your brain had time to explain it. The conversation felt easy in a way. Conversations almost never feel easy. The silences felt comfortable in a way. Silences almost never feel comfortable. Like coming home to a place you'd never actually been. That feeling of certain people feeling like home the moment you meet them, that's Farcall, the inexplicable pull towards someone your soul seems to recognize before your mind catches up. Psychologists call this rapid rapport formation, when two people's communication styles, values, and emotional frequencies align so completely that connection feels immediate rather than earned. But honestly, some people just feel like home, and the lucky ones, you get to keep. And the others, you spend years quietly wondering where they went. Number 1. Saudade, and here we are. The feeling that contains all the others. There's a Portuguese word, saudade, that has no direct translation in English, because English apparently has no single word for this. Saudade is the deep emotional state of nostalgic longing for something or someone that you love and that is gone, or that may never have existed exactly as you remember it, or that you know you can never return to. It's not sadness exactly, not depression, not grief in the traditional sense. It's something more complex. A love that remains after the person has gone. A warmth that hurts because of what it used to be. The feeling of being deeply connected to something absent. The Portuguese say, saudade can be felt for a person, a place, an era, a feeling, anything you loved enough to miss at a cellular level. And the extraordinary thing about saudade is that it's considered in Portuguese culture not as a wound but as a gift. Evidence of a capacity to love deeply. Proof that something mattered enough to leave a mark. You don't feel saudade for things that didn't matter. You feel it for the things that did. And the fact that you carry it, for that person, that version of life, that feeling of home you found in someone, and then lost, means you loved something real. And loving something real is the most human thing there is. Subscribe for more untold emotions, backed by science, and felt by all of us.